Anyway, so what I'm trying to say is the Gangstalker doesn't have a soul. They really don't. Because when you become a minion tool, when you begin to start working for the system, you start doing weird spine shit. You start, grouping together and teaming up against a single person. If you think you're doing that because you're smart and that you know that you're doing something, you're usually not. Usually not. You've opened yourself to some sort of demonic shit and you're being puppeted by demonic shit. You dummy. So you can't do shit like that. And then you have to be aware that there are sophisticated technologies that are just going to hack into your brain and run you, especially if you're mentally ill already and you're not even interested in keeping personal relationships, all of them. I mean, you have to have all of your personal relationships on the level. You can't choose to pick some people to treat them like shit. You can't do that. You can't write people off and say, "Oh, they're a Nazi or they're a communist." No, you can't. Nobody. You can't do that with nobody. Now you can know the hive mind group and sense it whenever they're trying to kill you or indoctrinate you or whatever, but you can't yield to that nature. You have to be smarter. The person with the spirit has to be operating by the spirit. You have to discern from your spirit. Your human mind is not going to help you. It's going to fuck you. It's going to fuck you. And all you people that think you're fucking smart, I'm one of them. And I know I'm not smart enough. I have to have the spirit. I have to have the intuition. I have to be open to something that's not that. And that's really the secret of all this, is that the consciousness isn't your mind. It isn't your mind. Your consciousness doesn't have a words and thoughts like that. It has awareness. Awareness is just aware. It is like being open and perceiving. The mind isn't. The mind's up there. It's above like the emotions, but the emotions really are deeper and more the thing than the mind. Mind is a very strange thing. Hello. Good morning. I put my dream. I'll put it after this. Let's say some things. We have this world where, because of the quantum rules or laws, they've got enough people believing ignorant things, and they just believe them. Just believe, they hear it and they believe it, and that's it. And they continue to say, lies. Just say lies. The one side doesn't hear them. The other side listens to what the other side hears, but they don't take in the account that these people are being run by evil people with more technology, and they're trying to get the dumbed down mindset to have a belief that will manifest the reality. That's what they're counting on. And then now you've got a bunch of new agers that are petty and thinking that they can contend with it the same way, that they can just break a fraction off, and that doesn't really work. You somehow have to inject something into the whole system that will, if it even nudges it a degree or two off of the point, then it would be successful. And that's easier to do than to try to, I don't know, one of my friends was making up stories to another friend about me and her doing something to the girl and fucking with her, because they always fuck with this girl. But she thinks this is all funny and cute. And a lot of more times, it just, what she does is evil. just straight up, because the person they can't feel emotions. They can't comprehend the either the love or the genuine care that someone has for someone else, because they're being too petty. And when you remain petty, you stay petty. You remain petty, and your love doesn't open up. Your heart doesn't open up. And you fail your test. You fail your test, because we are being tested. We're being tested on loyalty, and we're being tested on our morals and ethics. I was listening to Zeph this morning, and he was saying some of that. It's like he retracted a lot of his bullshit, and with that weird awareness that he has, he cleaned it up. He reeled it in a little bit, you know, because I feel the same way. Like, I'm just one person apart. But if I can listen to something and I can adjust myself to inject into that the change that I need to be from that perspective, and I need to hear it, I learn how to do it. I learn how to do it. And that's part of what I want to bring and try to share with people, is that even as you're just one person, you can put something out there that can ripple through the whole system so fast and change everyone, at least by 1 degree. You can do it. It can be done, and it should be done. But you have to shore up your heart and your ability to love and care about another person. To know that all these mind control idiots that want to burn babies and do all that they don't know that the people that are running it would fucking just as soon as have us kill our own kids. You know, anything they could get away with, they would do. Oh, we've got somebody. We've got somebody coming. We've got an early person. They're coming in the wrong way. This is my dream journal. Dream journal. I dreamed I was inside of the Russian pyramid, the one that has 4 levels, but it was really bigger. And there was a whole neighborhood at the very bottom level, and it was like a maze. And I was driving through it on my dad's lawnmower, and I had my wife with me. She was riding with me. We were going down the road that looked like this town, and we were going to go to the river, but we were having to go around these mazes and roads, and we ended up at someone else's house where there was kids outside in a pool, and they invited us inside to eat some dinner, and we met their parents, and then that's all I remember. It's very weird, but it wasn't our river, but it was, we were supposed to be going to our river, but it was somewhere else with a river, because someone's yard was right on the river. It was very long, like long, and then the house, it came up, and it was the house was very light of so if they were flooded, they were still within. It probably would flood up to the house, but not flood the house. That's all I got. Kitty, kitty, kitty! Kitty cat! Come here, kitty! I'm yelling at the cat just because I want to see if he would listen, and he just ignored me. Kitty! Kitty! Kitty cat! Whopper! Popper Whopper! Popper Whopper! Whopper! Popper Whopper! That's my Popper Whopper. Popper Whopper! Kitty! Can you hear me from out there? Kitty! Come here, kitty! Kitty! Come here, kitty! Kitty cat! Kitty, come here! Kitty! Come over here! If he has to ignore me unless he goes to the window, he can hear me. Kitty! Look at his tail. I like to do experiments with my cat just to see where his awareness is at. Kitty! Hey! Can you hear me? Now, being as he is a cat, he does ignore me most of the time. Being a cat. That's why. Kitty! Kitty! Isn't know where I'm at. Kitty! Kitty is triggered to eat that food at first contact. At my first contact, at Whopper's first contact, he goes through the motions that he best knows will result in getting food. I admire that. He tried, but he failed.